Why hello there, and welcome back to Satisfactory. Hey everyone, JC Cool here, and welcome back to Satisfactory. As I just said, I don't know why I decided to do the intro like that, but yes, it is a Friday once again. Hello. We're doing the Satisfactory stuff again. Time to crack open the can. I get to a bit of, I don't know what, probably actually doing project assembly part stuff today, because yes, as I said at the end of the last stream, the fuse modular frame factory is finished. We'll go take a look at that. But first, I got a milestone to launch, because I got the fuse modular frames in. So, leading edge production, Miner Mark III.
The Miner Mark III provides top-of-the-line resource extraction potential, making it even easier to contribute to project assembly. Project part number 8, the thermal propulsion rocket, is the most complex project part of this phase as it requires turbo motors, and thus requires your best. Fix it, didn't think pioneers such as you could get this far. I am glad we have both proven them wrong.
Okay, Ada, don't act like you've had any faith in me like at all throughout this process. Because clearly you haven't. Alright, turbo motors. These aren't that crazy. Thermal propulsion rockets do require fused modular frames. Of 1 per minute, okay. That's if everything else is at satisfactory rates, which we'll have to see about that. Just go generally to the project assembly. Look at project assembly. The magnetic field generator, that requires control rods, which is a thing for nuclear power. That's another thing. We're gonna have to start getting into nuclear power soon. For the nuclear pasta, mostly. No, not the fuse modular frame. Where's the other two? Oh, yeah, no, okay. Well, we haven't unlocked the nuclear pasta yet, but that's what this thing is called. Anyhow. So, today we're gonna hopefully start getting these, product assembly parts going. Starting with, I guess, the assembly director system, which is going to take our supercomputers. Actually, before we do any of that, we gotta belt fused modular frames back to the factory. And also, I guess, show off the fused modular frame factory. Because as we've seen, they are going to be necessary to make the thermal propulsion system, which is right behind my head right now, apparently. On the green screen. There it is. Okay, we're going this way then. Because I have my headphones plugged in right now. Right here. Right here. I have my headphones plugged in right now because on my way back from dinner they told me they were low on battery. And I forgot to plug them in the moment I got back. And then I went to use them for the stream and I was like, crap. I need to charge my headphones, so we're tethered today, people. We are tethered today. Yeah. Words. Yeah, I don't know what to say now. But yeah, so very little is. Oh yeah, so we got a belt all the way across. Everything here, actually, coming down this cliff is probably going to be the hardest part of this. Because, like, the rest of it, we have this here. In fact, actually, especially at this point, we have an already stacked kind of conveyor pole system to drive alongside of. Because there's the whatever it's called that makes the factory run. Oh, yeah, it's nighttime. This place is so dark. Of course, we have lighting inside the factory, but lighting in Satisfactory is kind of shit. As you may see once we get in here, the lights only go like that far. It's like, what, 2 light fixtures away? That's nothing. Also, actually. So yeah, I guess we can wait till daytime to actually show what's going on around here. Oh, but I have had... Let's turn on my flashlight as well here. I have had some issues with these... with the production system here. So the first thing that I found out after I turned the factory on... I actually can't remember how we left off last stream. I think it was just with all the machinery being done. Which sounds about right. So I probably should show off actually how I got all the resources here. But something I realized after I first tried to turn the factory on... Oh, okay. Was that I had forgotten to siphon off a bit of the correct amount of rods to go towards the actual modular frames production. Which is what this belt is, so I had to rework some stuff to do that. Then after it was running for a while, I came back and it was super backed up on the amount of modular frames that were available, which is weird, and I ended up finding out that over here on the aluminum production side of things, there was some weird quirky issue with the water pipe where despite the fact that this thing was set to allow just enough water in and that thing was outputting just enough water, these things would occasionally not get enough water in time for the next cycle, which would cause small gaps, but still gaps nonetheless, in aluminum production that were consequential enough to cause the blenders over here to not be capable of producing at the highest possible rate. Then I came over here today, before the stream, to make sure everything was good, to find out that we were actually now short on heavy modular frames for some reason. And it turned out the reason why that was because the production of encased industrial beams was for some reason too slow, which that turned out because it wasn't getting enough concrete, which is weird because it should be producing exactly enough concrete. And going up here to where the concrete production is, again, these lights aren't illuminating far enough. It's a very much pain. Anyhow, it ended up being that these things were for some reason not getting enough limestone, despite the fact that I should theoretically have been perfectly balanced. So what I ended up doing is we have well more than enough actual limestone coming in. Because I just put tier 2 miners on the stuff and we well overproduced for the 240 I think we're technically prescribed for in this system. So I just upgraded the belts coming out of the splitter to tier 3 and that seems to have solved the problem. Distributing efficiently as much as is necessary. Which technically that means we're consuming 270 per minute. And maybe that was actually the initial input design and I was just being stupid. But it all seems to be working at the correct rates now. Obviously, sometimes stuff does get a tad backed up, as you could expect. It's also a bit darker up here because we don't have lights right on the ceiling. Well, that's another thing, yeah, because the factory has a roof compared to what it may not have had last time. Or has lighting, I think, is what I did. Lighting and power and all that stuff. Yeah, this section was interesting because obviously we have the slope of the roof, and by default, for some reason the game wants to place these things to clip through the roof, so I had to like move them down a bit, lock them in place, then nudge them back so that they'd actually be entirely beneath the roof tile. That was a bit of a pain to do and make sure everything was lined up correctly. But yeah, besides that, all that is good, and actually, let's go into the swamp now to show off all the resource collection that's going on around. I was on the right floor. Because I still, for some reason, have not deleted the giant concrete bridge out back of this. I will delete it at some point, because it is no longer necessary. Or at least put a door in back here. Yeah. It is not currently necessary anymore, but it is still a very nice safety net to be able to do things with. So, coming out back here, all of the iron that we required for this project is actually excavated directly from the swamp here. So starting with this iron patch right down here, So we have the iron patch there, and then there's a limestone patch there. This is half the limestone. The other half of the limestone is coming from over that way somewhere. Not entirely sure where, but this is only a pure iron patch. We needed a lot more. We need like 720 total iron. So coming this way, we passed what is... Or we passed the crash ship of certain death there, because let's see if I can see everything from here. There are two of the really big hogs, a nuclear hog, and a couple of the giant flying crab things right around there. No thanks, not dealing with that until I have to, so we're staying up here where it's nice and safe, and you never know what other creepy crawlies end up crawling around there on the ground. Oh, but yeah, so here's two more iron patches. These are both normal. And then we have one more iron patch all the way over there. Of course, I was able to remain up in the sky the entire time, so I didn't have to deal with anything on the ground there. That was nice. Oh, and here's a nice view of the factory. And you can actually see some of the illumination from here. That's a little strange. But yeah. Oh yeah, I put the supports in underneath. Unfortunately, that that corner, the belt got cut off by putting that thing in the exact corner, so I moved it in a little bit. It looks a little strange, but it's not too bad overall. Alright. Let's see what we're doing next. Let's see. Oh yeah. So that's the iron iron ore input for the factory here. We of course also had a few other resources that I hadn't acquired yet, namely coal and nitrogen, I guess. Oh yeah, there's the other limestone coming in from over there. Yeah, so the coal, obviously I'm getting the coal from, actually we can look at the map here. The coal I'm getting from these three, are the coal that I just brought in, are from these three coal patches right here, which all come in and come across basically along the hypertube there, and then along here, and then as I was building across here, I had to go down to the ground over here to actually like properly build stuff, and I got jumped by a bunch of stingers that happened to be in this general area right here. Yeah, that's why I hate this area, due to the sheer number of stingers. There were big ones, there were small ones. Ugh. I somehow hadn't triggered them before. But yeah, they're dead now. They shouldn't be respawning at all, and I'm not going down there again to test it. But yeah, here's where our stuff comes in. And, yeah. That's that. So now we need to go the other way with the frames themselves. Actually, before we do that, let's hop down here and take a look at the awesome sink. It doesn't get stuff all that often. Oh, except for when it does, it comes by very fast. Generally an aluminum ingot, though. As you can see, its production is a little bit low. We have 660 coupons, so that's nice. But yeah, it's all over the place because every fused modular frame is a big boost, and then it doesn't get any, and then it also has supercomputers and all that stuff. Theoretically, it is getting 3 fused modular frames every minute, though, which is a nice, healthy amount. Ah, there, just went back up. There's definitely a Mercer sphere or something in this crevice here that I've sealed over, because I am not willing to deal with the consequences of that crevice, so I just sealed it over. I wonder what that guy's doing. Anyhow, before we actually get to belting stuff out, I'm gonna try going up to the observation tower. And by that I mean the radar tower here. To take a good look at the factory. Right next to a power slug that we haven't collected. Look, if we need power slugs, we know where to find them. Overclocking is not something I typically do, though. because that's just extra power production, and quite frankly, it's a bit inefficient. Or that's just extra power consumption, and it could cause problems. Tier 3 miners might be the only thing I'm really willing to overclock for the most part. Alright, here's the factory from above. I didn't put in any more windows on the roof because I couldn't be bothered. Plain and simple. I still reserve the right to do that in the future, though. So, you know. That's still on the table. Nice sunrise here. This is the factory and the haze of the swamp here. So, yeah, now we gotta figure out how are we belting this stuff back. Might come out of the center of the factory there onto that, then possibly over to these. Well, yeah. These are the stackable conveyor poles that we have that are basically running back towards the base. So, yeah, I guess let's start there. And by there I mean let's stack a bunch of conveyor belt poles on top of this stuff. Okay, hopefully I don't get jumped down here. Yeah, hopefully everything's just completely gone from down here, as I've annihilated it all before. Can a thing from like right there reach? Nope, nope, it cannot. Making really tall stacks of conveyor poles? Sure, why not? There we go. There we go. Oh yeah, I put all this stuff down here too in an attempt to continue preventing spawns of respawns of any hostile entities down there. I don't know if that's close enough to the factory to where the factory itself provides that protection, or if that those objects extend the range of the factory itself to help provide protection, but they're there for now. Until we run into the object limit, I suppose. And if you don't know what that is, basically, Satisfactory is made in Unreal Engine, and Unreal Engine is primarily when you're doing actual coding for games made in Unreal Engine, you're using C++, and C++ by default does not have a garbage collection system, as it's a superset of the C language, which means that it has manual memory management for the most part. But that could obviously cause a lot of problems, and for game development purposes, Unreal Engine provides a garbage collector and garbage collector managed objects. Oh yeah, right down here's where we get the nitrogen from. There's a lot of scary stuff down there, so I didn't actually go down there. I just kind of placed everything from the sky and was like, okay, and now I get out of there. I did go into, like, effectively a creative save to check that this node here is pure, which is well more than enough for what we're going to need, so up it goes. Nitrogen. Anyhow. What was I talking about before I... Whatever. Oh yeah, Unreal Engine. That's what I was talking about. But yeah, so... But, apparently Epic Games was kind of le shit when they built their garbage collector, and it can only handle a certain number of objects. Not even, like, quantity of memory, but just straight up a number of different code objects, which are something I'm not going to bother explaining right now, because an object is kind of complex. What it actually is. It's a data structure. We'll keep it at that. So it can only handle a certain number of data of effectively data structures, or can only track a certain number at once, which is kind of stupid that they've hard coded a limit in there. Because I mean, like, more modern programming languages than C++, like Python, Java, all of the C#, a bunch of the languages, have built-in garbage collectors, and the whole language runs in a garbage collector instead of just special objects. And actually, that's where UObject comes from, because in order a lot of various data structures that Unreal Engine provides and that you use in your game are of the UObject type, which means that they can utilize the garbage collector and and they won't have to manually deal with the memory management themselves. But that does mean that you are limited to the maximum number of UObjects that you can actually have. Obviously, in languages that by default contain garbage collectors, is not at least as far as I can tell, limit to the number of objects that can be created. The general limit is the amount of memory space that the garbage collector can handle, which modern garbage collectors can basically handle as much memory as you throw at them. They might not be the most efficient with that memory, and it might actually slow them down, but they can still handle it for the most part, from what I can tell. Fuck. But yeah, so, and because of how Satisfactory is made, all, like, things that you place down contain, or are built out of one or more UObjects. So, like, foundations used to, for some reason, be 3, but at one point they reduced them to 1. I don't know. That's kind of strange. If you can, don't make them... So if you can reduce the number of instances of UObjects that or number of things that count towards the UObject limit, then do. So if you can reduce that generally in programming, I guess, then do. But, like, there is an advantage to, I guess, Godot or Unity in terms of game engine selection. And that, actually, I don't entirely know. Godot might actually not use C#, but I feel like it might use C#. Oh, I'm out of iron plates. Alright. Do I need iron plates for this? I definitely do. Okay. Let's go back to the base to get more of this, shall we? But yeah, game engines that, if you're gonna use a game engine that does garbage, that's written for, or that uses a language that has built-in garbage collection, is generally a good thing, because it makes sure that, especially if you have a building game, if it's not a building game, that doesn't really matter, but it makes sure that, especially in a building game, you won't have to worry about people going over the sheer number of allowed memory objects that you can realistically have. Which is, why you can't build a game like Minecraft in Unreal Engine. Now, you don't need a garbage... No, garbage collectors aren't a requirement to make a game, to be fair. They just make it a lot easier, so you don't have to worry about memory leaks and use after freeze and all that sort of stuff. But you could also, theoretically, design your own garbage collector if you were to make your own game engine. Or again, you could just go without a garbage collector and properly manage the memory on your own. It's possible to do, believe it or not. Heck, there are some quite big projects that are able to effectively handle memory without memory leaks, like Linux and Windows. They're written as far as I can tell, especially for Linux, actually. I'm pretty sure about Linux that doesn't have a garbage collector. And I can imagine that Windows probably isn't built with a garbage collector running on everything, because, one, it's an operating system. It kind of needs to be performant. Why did I fuck this up so much? Okay, there we go. So, for one, Windows is, it's an operating system, it needs to be performant. And two, the Windows base started before garbage collectors were really commonplace. And before, especially at an OS level, performant, or computer resources would actually make sense to use garbage collectors. So it stands to reason that Windows probably doesn't have one. Who knows about Mac OS though? That's probably been rewritten several times since 2010. I mean, with how much applications written for Mac OS tend to just break, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what has effectively gone on behind the scenes. Alright. And now comes the slow part of this hypertube. Alright. I should talk about something else, and I don't know what. Yeah, so... haven't done anything particularly interesting this week. Alright. Urine plates. Oh yeah, oh. Let's see. I think that potentially next week on Friday, so 1 week from today, we might be joined by JRD Cool again. I'm not entirely sure, as he might not want to be joining in, but it's potentially that a week from today we're gonna have JRD Cool back with us, as his summer job will have officially ended in the middle of fall. I mean, he has a real job now, so like that's probably gonna take place on Friday next week. But that's not like a thing where he's gonna be working till like 10 o'clock at night. So I think that's a normal office hours job. So like Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, as far as I can tell. So, you know, should be relatively good to be able to come on the stream with us. Hanging out, building a factory. We have been streaming for almost half an hour and haven't done basically anything of use. That is most impressive that we haven't done it. Who can I? Oh, okay. I feel like it's been like an hour before of streaming and I haven't done anything useful. I mean, we've started building a belt, I guess. Then run out of materials and had to go all the way back to the primary factory. I've debated about whether or not I should just build an express hypertube all the way from the primary factory to the fused modular frame factory with how much I go back and forth, but I feel like it'd take longer and more resources to build the hypertube than it would save in time for me traveling through it. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Yeah, something else I noticed this past week is that Factorio, the 2D version of this game, released a DLC which costs literally as much as the game itself. Which is kind of like a let's not do, which kind of just does not make me want to buy it. Not because I don't play Satisfactory that much and I've only really completed the game like twice, but also because, a DLC which costs literally the same as the full game itself, that's kind of lame. Unless it's literally twice the game, like twice the mechanics, twice the world, twice the everything, it doesn't really seem like it'd be all that worth it. And if it's just like more late game content, then like, no. That just doesn't seem all that appealing to me. Now, to be fair, I don't know what typical games DLC goes for, now that I think about it, but like, what has City Skylines DLC gone for in the past? I actually do not know. Because I guess I've never really had a chance to pay, or really done any purchasing of that stuff myself. I know I've, got like Stormworks' DLCs, and those only cost like $10 each. So, from my perspective, DLC should not be all that expensive. Well, unless it's adding enough stuff for it to warrant that sort of a price. Which I guess I doubt this one. We'll see. Actually, I think Coffee Stain has said that they do have plans for a paid DLC in Satisfactory along with free updates. So we will see, I guess, what that entails, and hopefully they wouldn't be ridiculously expensive. Oh, that guy was right there. Fire! I got that guy. Ow. Alright, they're dead. Those sounds that these can make. I'm gonna have to fight a few more things before I get back to where I know we'll not have to fight anything. But before that, I guess we have to figure out whereabouts are we gonna build the next conveyor pole here. Let's see. How far out can we go? About here. So, standing about here, let's see. We can, like, zoop this, please. Whee! Okay. Go out till there. Can I get a... Alright. That's a nice foundation to build on top of. Let's get a fat one. Or a fat few. Go. Can I build on top of this? There we go. Alright. Oh, apparently I built that out of steel. That's fun. Good enough. Gotta get that steel back. That shit's expensive. Well, relatively expensive. More or less just slow up. The production of it is mostly just slow, but still. That does still mean that it's a precious resource. Precious resource. Boop. Let's see, what else has been going on recently? Yeah, not much very... Well, that's kind of annoying. Anyhow, not much all that interesting has actually gone on in my life this week, I don't think. Or at least, not that's, like, relevant to publicly sharing on the internet, I guess. Oh yeah, I think I was remarking last stream about that trip, how I had to like hike to Walmart for because I did a thing that meant I couldn't bike to Walmart and I needed a bike pump or whatever. I think that's what it was about. I think I was talking about that. I know I was saying some stuff about that on Sunday. But yeah, so anyhow, as a follow-up to that story, man, for a good chunk of this week, my body was like furious that I'd actually dared and done a fair bit of exercise, which I swear I've done shit like that before and never had a problem, but it was like, no. You can't possibly get away with this. So now your lower back is gonna hurt for a couple days for no reason. Maybe I should have done a few stretches before I'd gone on the walk, but I seriously didn't think a walk. One that wasn't particularly stressful, like the weather wasn't particularly bad. Actually, the weather was relatively nice, in fact. I was thinking like, oh, you know, it'll be fine, but no. It's vertically zoop you. Yeah, so that was a fun time to deal with this week. Dealing with the aftermath of my poor choice, I guess. But hey, the side effect to that, riding a bike with fully inflated tires, or mostly inflated tires, much more enjoyable experience than riding a bike where the tires are a bit deflated. Okay, that kind of sucks. I mean, I might need to put another support here. If I do straight, what's that gonna look like? Oh, that's even worse. Okay, we're gonna need another support here so that it doesn't clip into the hyper tube. To be fair, it's probably a little bit the hyper tube's fault for the shape that is. Oh, we're gonna have to deal with another fricker down here. Are we? Is it dead?
Look through the window and witness a thread.
Shut up. Shut up, glitched as fuck. I think it is around here somewhere, but as long as it hasn't seen me yet, we are fine. Play, huh? I am playing Satisfactory. How did you know? I'm very paranoid right now that the thing that usually is guarding this is just gonna jump out at me. To be fair, it is a spitter, so it's, you know, kind of whatever. This was just straight up elevated. No, this isn't where the problem spot is gonna be, though. The problem spot is gonna be somewhere else entirely. No! Come on! Ow! Ugh. Oh, the belt's also like too steep. Hold up, if I... Okay, final try, final try. Yay! Okay. It'll need to go down a little bit here, but, that's fine. The shape of this pipe definitely, or this tube, I guess it's as it would be, it's definitely telling me, yeah, we're gonna need to double that up at very least in order to get a okay looking thing that doesn't clip the belt. At some point I'll go through collecting a bunch of summer sloops and mercers. Actually, summer sloops I should do the research and shit for, because the power multiplication, whatever it's called, that stuff seems quite cool and useful. And a free 500 megawatts plus, like, what is it, 10% production per generator per thing? We have the resources to unlock that crap now. Okay, this one's really hard, as I actually put down a foundation around here to be able to, do this. Or to be able to get this stuff going. There we go. What is this gonna do? Turns out, probably awful, as that's gonna clip through right there. It's also too damn long. Of course it is. Well, I'm going to... build an extra little platform here. I'm kind of surprised at the lack of enemy regeneration that's existed right here. I thought for sure by now there would have been a respawning enemy. I'm just mashing number buttons on my keyboard until I've finally found the correct one. Let's go vertical. Nice, relaxing factory game. Nothing at all stressful about this. Nothing at all stressful about this. Alright, I'm just gonna bulk delete that. Yoink! Very moving music, you know? This is gonna need another step in it before it gets all the way down here. Alright, we're definitely safe now. I am pretty certain that this is like, yeah, that's well beyond the limits of a belt. I would use walls to build up to right here, but like, for some reason, walls must be placed on a foundation. Because that makes sense. Walls requiring a foundation to be placed? Yeah, sure, that makes logical sense. Can't just have a wall floating in the middle of nowhere after we've removed the foundation that it was attached to. No, oh, okay, good. For a second there I was like, oh no, don't tell me that this is gonna be also too... No, okay, good. Also too long there. Good. Alright. We are effectively... I will have this divert over here, because we have actually proper stacked conveyors here that are going to be the correct length for, well, pipes at least. Eventually they're the correct length for conveyor belts. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fine. Alright, now I just gotta spam a bunch of conveyor pulls all the way back to the base effectively. Well, I'm not gonna go all the way back. I'm gonna go to the end of the hypertube right here. That's gonna be a bit awkward right there. Oh, actually, the start of the next hypertube is where I'm gonna get to. Ooh, we've trekked an entire hypertube back so far. What's one of 3 different hypertubes that we have to go along? Woo. Woo. All right. Let's... belts. Okay, I did that one correctly. I was afraid I did that one incorrectly for a hot second. Yes. You know, I didn't expect this task. Okay. Okay, I'll have to try this then. Yeah, alright, that works. It'll be strange for anything that might need to go on top of this pipe stack in the future, as, with potential future developments, I'm not ruling out the fact that we're never going to use this stuff again, because, look, there's an entire world out this way that we're going to have to explore. Actually, I'm probably going to do nuclear stuff somewhere up here, because there's a lot of water, and also we're never up there. So, like, win-win in terms of... Oh, I need to put down more conveyor belts. Okay. It's a win-win in terms of actually safeguarding our stuff from radiation, because there's going to be a lot of that. Actually, before we get any nuclear stuff up and running, I actually should figure out the automation of iodinized filters. Basically the filter resource that protects you from radiation with the hazmat suit. So I'm going to want to survive being in radioactive environments for more than 10 seconds. Obviously there is the limit to how long you can be in there, but that's why we're going to figure out designing the entire power plant and, I guess, waste storage facility before we actually pipe the radioactive materials in. And actually, yeah, for the nuclear power plant that we're gonna have to build, I think we're probably gonna be using trains to haul all the cargo, or to haul the radioactive materials. That way we don't have solid strips of radiation, or extreme radiation at least. Obviously, the radiation is going to remain behind the train for a hot second. Speaking of trains, here's a train track. that I built at one point all the way from the main factory out here because it was just like a place I could make it go because we had like kind of a path going along the edge of the map here because like all the way up to like where we are here, we've kind of like followed the entire edge of the map from like around the factory here all the way over here. Haven't gone past that though, but you know, the future is the future, I guess. All right. Let's see. Oh yeah, I have something vaguely interesting that may be of interest to anyone. Stuff is I was working on some stuff today that will hopefully eventually come in handy for my game itself, for my actual game. So yeah, that's it's hopefully some stuff that will make multiplayer a little bit better, hopefully, because I mean I actually have zero clue if this will actually make multiplayer better. It might make it worse for all I know. But basically it's hoping to tackle the network stuff because currently for some reason there's like multiplayer or the actual like connection has like a 100 millisecond delay on each end between when it gets the previous message and or between receiving each message. It's on both sides for some reason. It's like a 100 millisecond delay for reasons that I cannot see all that well. So I'm trying to work on solutions to hopefully take charge of it and make it better, hopefully. Or at very least, I'll be able to do some diagnostics on why the round trip ping time is like 100 milliseconds. I'll be able to diagnose, is it because the network is too slow? I feel like we're not sending that much data, but you never know. Or is it because or is it just simply because my code is inefficient? Because currently, if the code is inefficient, it is not my code, it is someone else's code that I happen to be using that is inefficient, because I've just been able to time the execution of one function call, basically, currently. And it's like, well, that's where all the delay's coming from. So, I don't know. And maybe the way I'm doing it is going to be way better. It certainly has a very good possibility to be way less reliable and way harder to implement. So I should work on making it easier to implement. Go back to the drawing board once I make sure my current thing is working and make sure that the actual interface that I use to interact with it everywhere is as consistent and good as possible. But yeah. Like, I have some ideas. It's, and hey, I mentioned it's network stuff, so, you know, I've had to be doing a lot of dealing with, you know, raw bytes and stuff, and I've run into some strange quirks of using bytes for stuff. Maybe I'll make a stream where I go through and implement this stuff at some point. Maybe. We will see, we will see. So actually, since I've been back to live streaming, or since Satisfactory 1.0 has been out actually, I haven't done a single Sunday stream or anything where I just haven't been playing Satisfactory. Partially because we're not currently in season for Coolcraft, but hopefully that's changing next weekend. Hopefully. It all depends on everyone else's availability, because... Oh, I haven't done this yet. I am completely available next weekend to get recording, or to get starting and recording on Warcraft Season 7. I had to think about what season we're going into here. But Jaredy Cool and Tyler might not be, which is fun. Like it's been a while now since Season 6 ended. And okay, I admit there is some preparation stuff that I've kind of been neglecting doing. Like I did a little bit of it, and this is for my personal plans, by the way. Like I did a little bit of stuff, and then I was like, cool. Now I will not think about this for a while. The season's probably a ways away. It's starting to actually come close, and I kind of want to have all this stuff ready and loaded on day one. So, yeah, there's a bunch of work for me in addition to everything else that I'm gonna do. Or be having to deal with this week, because there's certainly a lot of schoolwork I have to get to these days. Oh yeah, I have a test or quiz on Wednesday. I really should make sure I know what I'm doing for that. That'd be nice. Oh, I'm out of iron plates. Hey, and I happen to be right here at this hypertube entrance. That's convenient. Two out of 3 hypertubes down. I think this third one is the shortest one by far, but you know. Still a thing. Also, I'm thinking that empty conveyor spot over there is probably where I'm bringing it into the factory. Don't know where I'm dealing with it in the center, but... Oh, I've gone through all those iron plates. Yeah, this is a long belt. I can see how trains can become very much useful. And, I think Jaredy Cool will like to have fun designing a train system in this world, so... I don't know. I'll see if I can get Jaredy Cool doing train stuff at some point in here. Yeah. Although trains are massive in this game. Like, the physical size of a train is ridiculously large scale compared to everything else, so there will have to be a lot of infrastructure just for a lot of physically large infrastructure just for handling the trains. But you know, it'll be a fun challenge, I guess. Crap. Let's see, so... coming up, a little under now, 2 weeks till Planet Coaster 2 launches. That's exciting. I have noticed that Planet Coaster 2 and also apparently Planet Coaster 1 have DRM installed on them, which I didn't know, so like, hey, I guess it can't have affected performance all that much if I haven't noticed the fact that the game's had DRM in it for the entire time that I played it. Hopefully they've managed to optimize the game enough where, despite being a significantly, you know, more technically complex game, my computer hopefully won't have any problems running it. Heck, I have literally one of the recommended GPUs. Which, the fact that they actually went out of their way to go and test and list an Intel GPU on the spec list for recommended GPU, that is the first time I've ever seen that, actually, so that's quite impressive for them. Good job, Frontier. Unfortunately, my CPU is not the is below recommended for CPU. Okay, maybe I should do something with the SAM ore at some point, or just the SAM stuff. I haven't done anything. Oh yeah, that's like what we need for the alien research, isn't it? Well, at some point I'll bring this stuff into the factory and actually do something with them, but that hole right there is where I'm targeting for this stuff to go. It has been a hot second since anything has gone there, as everything has just been going into this side of the factory for a while now. Well, A few things have, at least. How will that react to, or look? Going down. Oop. Come on. Oh, that's fine. I was worried he was gonna start clipping through that pipe, but nah, we're good. Also, that top pipe, or middle pipe? One of the pipes over there. Top pipe. So that top pipe there is completely unnecessary. Now that, it got diverted over this way. To the plastics factory there, which is probably gonna remain that unfinished for a real long time. We will see, I guess, but probably. Okay. Nah, okay. Whoops. Did not mean to discharge that weapon. Officer, it wasn't me. The weapon discharged itself, officer. Alright. There we go. I will get moving that into the center. That is not a path I can take through here. I'm on the second floor, aren't I? This is not the first floor where I can actually exit. Oh. Huh. How is that sunlight getting there? Like... strange. Anyhow. Continuing through the factory here. Oh yeah, something else that I just thought of is that oh yeah, I gotta go actually start piping the fused modular frames out this way. But something else that I've realized recently is that my phone just hasn't been doing any sort of notification, anything for me. No sound, no vibration, no nothing. And it's apparently been on sound for a while now, but it hasn't been making any sounds when I got any notifications, which is weird. It's very weird that it's doing that. I've recently switched back over to vibrate, and I hope it's going to be vibrating soon, hopefully. Although, I feel like I've got notifications have rolled in that I haven't seen be rolling in. So I don't know if it's on some sort of do not disturb mode that I haven't realized, or what. Is it? Let me check. Oh, do not disturb is on. Let's turn that off. How long has that been on for? That's probably why it wasn't making any sound. Maybe I'll actually properly be notified of when the WAN show happens then today. Who knows when that's gonna start. Yeah, okay, let's see. Oh, cool. And now we're in it. We haven't even gotten to what I intended to do today. We're just doing the first quick little thing that we were doing. I love when that happens. Quick little 2-second adventure. That takes us half the stream time. Probably over half, to be fair. I will say the belt does kind of go weird here. Oh, dang it. It still does clip over there. Oh well, I'm not changing anything about that now. Alright. Wait, that is solid all the way, right? I'm going to choose to believe that is solid all the way. It will be a while before we actually need to use fused modular frames. We got a lot of other ways to get. A lot of other stuff to get to before those are used for the project assembly part, but yeah. So let's go right here. Conveyor hole. That is basically, that's effectively the middle. I think this is an even width, but yeah, that's effectively the middle. Alright, now we go from there to there. Apparently it doesn't like straight mode. Oh, yeah, no, that does not like straight mode like that. Okay, well, neither of these like straight mode because they want to go up or down completely before it goes across, and apparently that's too close to the wall, so it wants to clip into it. Guess it's clipping. There we go. Gee, server, thanks. Starting to do that thing where it doesn't display stuff on the belt. Well, it's dropping anyway. I'm assuming it's all working, so we're probably fine. All the other belts are working just fine, which is why that belt is very weird. Oh. Also, I don't know why, but parts of this factory are doing this. Like, just... Oh, look at that. Okay, OBS is actually... Now looking at OBS, it's actually different. It's flickering a lot more for me in person. OBS is only at like 30 FPS, so that's probably why. So yeah, on OBS I can see that it's just like completely not there for a good chunk of the time. For me, it is literally just like flickering to be like half there and half see-through right now. So that's fun. Anyway, moving on from that glitch. When playing. What? Somehow I missed that chat message from 3 minutes ago. But anyhow, what does when playing mean? Anyhow, now we can actually get on to building project assembly parts like I intended to do in this stream. Nope, that did not work at all. I am jumping too early. Gotta kind of jump right at the end of the bell. Or not at all. Not at all jumping works too. Well. Alright, so we open the codex, go to parts, advanced dish director system. Oh, this is easy. We have both of these things in the factory already. We get 1/4 supercomputers per minute and 1.5 adaptive control units. What is our production rate of adaptive control units? If that's 2 per minute, then we're good. Otherwise, shiz. I think we have 2 supercomputers per minute, I want to say, in production. I'm not entirely sure, though. So, yeah. I guess we will see. Oh. Alright. So yeah, that project assembly part should be relatively easy to produce. Again, both components of that are already in the factory. Just gotta make sure that what's it called? The fused modular frames coming in there. Huh. Sulfur. And all the other things going on this wall actually kind of cause issues with that. What is going on the floor above right here? It is basically right here. So, yeah, we have some room where we could get that up and... Yeah, up and over, we can do that. Alright. So... all the really loud factory sounds. So this is... probably there, I'd say? And then we could go to a fix-it wall with a centered conveyor thingy. Okay, then this becomes the issue. Is getting from this conveyor lift, I think going like this potentially is the best. So why would you go around that way? Go around that way. Oh, right. I have to go this way unless I build something on the other side. Temporarily doing that. There we go. There we go. Alright, now that is so much more difficult than it really needs to be, like, ever. Perfect. Let's go. Alright. I'm gonna of course delete that. And that. I don't know what precisely we're doing this, but this is going to be 3 fused modular frames per minute. Put up a sign. Wow, what the heck is this? Okay, I don't know what that part is. That looks... oh, actually, yeah, this has all the parts in it. Not just parts that we've unlocked. So that looks like a... that looked like a nuclear warhead. This is apparently a time crystal. I don't know what most of this stuff is, but maybe we'll get there eventually. There's of course the Cybertruck, which they added into the game for some reason. Nuclear pasta. There, nope, that's not it. Fuse modular frame. Select icon. It's 3. So we have 3 of those per minute, and then right down there is where we have the supercomputers. So we're gonna 1.875. Oh, that's a weird ratio. Let me find out what's going on with the adaptive control units. Which I think is that line right there. So this floor. Yes. We're only producing 1 of these per minute. So all of that ends up meaning that we're going to have to run this at .66666%. So at half of 1 of these per minute. That's fine, honestly. Leaves more supercomputers for us, I guess. So, I guess I will go up to the next floor where we have some available space. Put in an assembler, pipe in the supercomputers, figure out how we pipe in that stuff in. It's only 1 floor, actually, so that'll be fine. Actually, really easy. In terms of actually getting stuff into the space elevator, though, we have to put 4 separate things in now. And there's only 8 total slots, and I feel like most of them on this side are kind of full. Anyhow, actually, where do I want to put? I could I will... Oh yeah, Miner Mark III. What is the production rate of this thing? Default extraction rate is 240. Okay. Cool. 45 megawatts though. And that takes a lot of expensive stuff. We'll get to that eventually though. For now, we want an assembler. Kind of surprising this thing is made in an assembler. Actually, okay, I think we're gonna pipe this stuff up over there. Considering that this is gonna be closer to probably... Actually, I need to look at what ports the space elevator has available here. On this side. Oh, it only has 3, so there's none available on this side. We'll have to, I guess, start doing stuff on this side. And that's not even gonna... So some stuff... What it is, I'm not entirely sure. Some of this stuff is gonna have to be removed from the space elevators. We only have 6 inputs and have to be using 4 separate objects. Or have to be putting in 4 separate objects right now. So... Yeah, anyhow, we still have empty slots on this side, so we'll go over here. I guess closer to where where stuff is coming up. Actually, let's bring up the supercomputers first, because that way I'll actually have a better understanding of where, because it's like, yeah, it's like right next to the copper, actually. Oh, that's perfect. Oh. Of course, do actually need to do this. Let's see if the... Oh yeah, the rocket fuel is more than capable of propelling me up here. Whee! Oh. Okay, that was a bit too far up. I want this to look uniform. Anyhow, it doesn't matter because I can just go like, whee! The upwards velocity you get from rocket fuel, or yeah, rocket fuel is so much better than normal fuel. Too bad we don't really have the surplus to be automatically producing, or to be automatically packaging the stuff for use on jetpacks, but oh well. Whee! Unless I add those, well, to be fair, we do have a sufficient surplus to not realistically worrying about having to package some of it every so often, as long as I don't add these last 9 fuel power generators. Oh yeah, by the way, I heard somewhere that there's like a way you can take notes in the inventory. Or somewhere, some location in the menu for you to like take notes at. Oh. Public notes, private notes. So I guess that would be something that everyone sees, and I guess private notes is something only I can see, I guess. So we can have up to 9 more fuel generators. That's not how you spell it. G-N-E-R-E-T. With current production. Now, to be clear, and then I can get rid of those on my list here. Alright. To be clear with these fuel generators, oh, that's interesting. But with the fuel generators, we can do a little bit more than 9. Like, it's not exactly 9 more that we can do. We can do a little more than 9. But I don't want to deal with fractions, and also having a bit of extra buffer capacity to regenerate anything that may be lost from some random momentary dip in production for whatever reason. Like, it was happening all the time with the turbo fuel plant, where for some reason the production would dip for a while, and I'd come back after a while. So I'd come back to the server after a while, and the tanks of turbo fuel that were completely full at one point are now a little bit empty. or actually are quite a bit empty. It was really annoying. Anyhow, so that's where supercomputers are coming in. I guess we'll get there's a lot of empty space here, so we might as well make use of it. Assembly director. So let's start this by going straight through that splitter, I guess. Actually, we can bring that forward a little bit further. And then we can come down this lift and plug it in there. Alright. Now we need to go down to the floor below, acquire the automated wiring. Actually, to be fair, I can probably just completely disable this use for automated wiring here. We'll take that off of the inside, actually, and just pipe that up. Really? I can't go through there? There we go. Oh, that was weird. Anyhow, so I might as well just commandeer this from here, as I hope that we're never going to need to directly put that stuff into the space elevator again, and then that, I guess, that belt can be reused for something else in the future. Do have that. So I'll have to... We will have that soon, but... I'm going to take this, move it up, and then we'll... Or move this up to the next level here. Just underneath where the staircase is going to come in. Ah. And then we'll transport it around the inside here, so instead of gumming up these walls. So I can guarantee that's probably going to be a concern. Heck, can I get some velocity here, please? There we go. That's what I wanted. Alright. So then we'll take that and let's just route this around interior walls. Ooh. Yeah, so we'll just kind of... Hopefully this doesn't cause any further issues. Oh, is that? That's the correct height, okay. Hopefully this doesn't cause any future issues with importing resources onto this level. So I can definitely imagine that it could. But here's to hoping that it doesn't. We'll just do that. It's not straight, but it at least lets me do that. Yeah, that's where those are. I have like 14 of them. I'll dump them into this machine. Why not? Alright. We'll knock this down to exactly half. It would only be 0.75 per minute. Ugh. Yeah, we'll knock that down to exactly half production per minute, which should save a little bit of power on this as well. That will be exactly using up the inputs. After running this, I guess, through an industrial storage container. We'll need to figure out getting this stuff all the way into the center there to the space elevator. Ugh. Well, I guess we could start by taking out this panel right here. Actually, no, we should... Yeah, that's fine, probably. Because, we'll replace that with triple wall, actually. I'm gonna have to completely change all of this. Okay, so this is kind of annoying here, actually. Okay, I did connect that on the right thing, actually, so I won't have to bother with that at all, then. Alright, because this is not that much space to make sure that all of these things get connected where they need to be. Yeah, there are gonna be some clipping here, guys. Sorry to say, but that's just gonna happen. Okay, we're gonna... There we go. Alright, so that's how this stuff is going to be laid out for now. But yeah, okay, that's where the inputs are. We gotta get some... Gotta get stuff to there. Yes. Now how... Yeah, I think coming out here is probably good. And now actually, ideally... Actually, I think automated wiring got used for something else along the lines. Ideally, we just come off of this wall somewhere over here, go down most of the way away from the glass, but then like at the last minute, go all the way in. Actually, so let's build this backwards here. Actually, due to that angle, I will need to. Realistically, I don't think we're gonna need much more of that. But, that'll work. In terms of this, then... Really? But yeah, commentary. I should be doing commentary about something right now instead of sitting here playing in silence. Now, what to do commentary about? That's what I need to be wondering about. Yeah, guess I just can't think of anything to talk about right now. Again, I feel like this happens a lot. Alright, so we're gonna... This game has lots of content. But yeah, I can't remember... Oh no. Okay, well, have a place that we can build that off of again. So... no, okay. Okay. That works. Wait, was that it? That was actually higher? Huh. I did not expect that. Alright, so from there to there. Then I have not expanded the power grid out this way. Alright. Power grid. Alright, that should be producing assembly directors and feeding them into the space elevator at a rate of 0.5 per minute. We needing 500 of them. It'll take 1,000 minutes for us to get that. Let's see, what is that? That is 16 hours. 16 hours of this running, which will happen by the time I probably come on here tomorrow if I come back tomorrow. Well, not on stream, obviously. That'll be done basically by this time tomorrow. Alright. Lovely. Alright. What's next? Codecs. Alright, so there's one project assembly part done. That was the easy one for this cycle. Everything else is suddenly much more complicated. This one literally requires us to get fuel rods, which, oh, those are actually really easy to craft. Those are just stators and AI limiters. Okay. Guess we could set up a production facility for those, and then that's just versatile framework. Isn't this the second thing that requires versatile framework? How much is this? 2.5 versatile framework per minute. This is gonna be the hard one. Yeah, let me go look at what's going on with our versatile frameworks for now. I think that's on the second level if I remember correctly. Yes. How much of this are we producing? As this stuff is relatively simple. We're producing 10 of these per minute. Wow, the speed! Not gonna lie, I did not at all expect to be producing 10 versatile frameworks per minute. Oh, but here we are apparently. Just one versatile frameworks. Or did we just have to use versatile frameworks? Again, I think it is more that we just had to use versatile frameworks again for something. Alright, well, we have 10 of that per minute, so... Versatile frameworks are not going to be a problem for this. It is absolutely just going to be one of those per minute. Yeah, we might actually be able to produce this stuff at a ridiculous rate. One of these is 4 per minute. Holy! We could absolutely produce 4 of these per minute if I really wanted to. I don't though, because that sounds like a pain in the ass. But I will be producing these things at max efficiency in case that becomes useful. Hey, I've been on Satisfactory for 2 hours! Woo! Stream's of course only an hour and a half long right now. Actually, that gives me limiters, stators. It's not too complicated, but it's complicated enough. Definitely can be done in this factory though. Okay, but with that being 2.5 hours, or 1.5 hours into stream, I'm gonna go quickly take a bathroom break, so I will be right back. Alright then, let's get going on this. So to meet 6 stators. What is a stator? Oh, that's annoying ratio-wise. I do not like that. Actually, let's go up to the top floor here and start placing down some machines to like get a feel for what we might need. This is a situation where I might consider overclocking. Is it like, does it make sense to do a second stator machine? But at the same time, so these are by no means permanent. So this is gonna make this, I guess. You are gonna make AI limiters. Wait, no. You are making electromagnetic control rods, which means your AI limiters, and you are going to be stators. Now, actually, I do have an overclocking shard, power shard on this. So if I wanted to get to 6 per minute production, what? 6 per minute. Why does it keep going down to 0? Come on, guys. Okay, 6 per minute, which is 120% overclock. The ratios get all sorts of whack, but well, we need... Okay, this is making 4 of these per minute, which is way more than we need. And I know I'll need to make these things when we're actually doing radioactive nuclear stuff. So, damn, it's hard to say if I should, yeah, I'll probably just do these weird ratios of this. Should I do these weird ratios, or should I just go full into making this stuff? Well, I guess it depends on how the downstream ratios work, but 18 and 48 seem kind of strange, honestly. Let's see how these things work. This thing produces 5 per minute. We need 4. Downclocking this thing to 4 per minute. That is still an acceptable amount of copper sheets. And quickwire also probably acceptable. So the ratios on this side are actually pretty dang easy. So copper sheets. Okay, actually, yeah, that makes the ratios on this side easier. We just need 2 of these. And okay, well, not entirely easier. But I don't think this thing would ever be particularly good, because what? 100 of this, with these things producing 60? That would be... Either way, you're going to have 2 of these, and one of them is going to have to be downclocked to, like... some amount. And I know quickwire can kind of be a pain in the butt sometimes. There we go. That's 8, 12. That's 20. Oh, that's a decent number of that as well. Okay, this side makes it easier. That's in support. That's probably fine. Ratios on this side are all going to be out of whack though. So we're going to need steel pipes and normal wires. So steel pipes produce 20 per minute by default, and this thing would need 18, which is actually more accurate. If I were to quickly downgrade this thing to 18 per minute, either way, 45 steel per minute is what we'd be producing. Oh. I don't know if you just heard that, but there's like on-campus delivery robots that I think some point last year, I want to say, they brought to campus. And I have the window open right now so it doesn't get ridiculously hot in here. And I'm near to where one of the delivery robot drop-off points are, so I just heard the robot be like, "Hey, you have a delivery, man?" Yeah, I mean, it is weird downclock ratios, and I guess I'll just have to say that I'm doing inefficiencies with this stuff, because getting this stuff to be efficient in these ratios is just not something I'm looking to do right now. Alright, that's that, and then wire. Normal wires, 30 per minute. We need 48 per minute. This is all temporary here, by the way. I'm just kind of getting a feel for what these systems are going to need to look like. Especially because I'm putting two copper wire things next to each other. So this is going to be producing 18. Oh, they're perfect. 60%. 15 and 9. Those are strange numbers. 24. Whatever. So that's basically going to be 30 copper ingots, and this is going to be... Oh. Wait, I think there was 2 of those, right? Yeah. It's going to be another 20. So we'll just plug 60 copper over here. And this is going to be... Alright, cool. So yeah, all that looks pretty gosh dang doable. So yeah, I guess I'll just get... These ratios are going to make no sense for the actual production, but whatever. They're going to theoretically be capable of being efficient. I don't know why the blueprint designers specifically are here. Wait. Why is there a power switch over here? There's a priority power switch for this floor on the other side already. Oh, hey! Produce 5 of them. There's the 6th one. Nice. Yeah, we already do have a priority power switch for this floor, so it's kind of strange. Really? Okay. Yeah, okay. Guess we start right here. Actually, yeah, we have all this unused copper here. Like, originally we were just sending it over this way and using only 30 of it. I did siphon some of it off. How much did I siphon off on the floor below? So copper we already have. That's great. We obviously don't have the production of steel. 30 more. So we have 60 out of that tier 3 belt. That's been used up. Great. I'm very efficient with my resources here. Clearly. So copper, we already got that. So let's build back towards that first, I guess. So we're going to need another 60 copper? That sounds about right. Yeah, we're going to need 60 more copper. And to send that into 20 sheets and number that 38 copper wire, I think. So go slap down 2 of these things. Put a splitter here. See, up until now we've been being very neat and orderly with much of the factory stuff, making sure everything in its exact ratios is ready. And now I'm just being like, well, you know, it's probably gonna be fine. Looking at these weird, to be fair, these ratios are very, very weird and cringe, kind of. Is that connected? No, they are not connected. Crap. Oh. It's the WAN show! So, yeah, as I guess I ponder over this, I guess I'll get the, this next part done off camera. Yeah, I'm going to say thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to leave a like on the stream on your way out and subscribe. Ring the notification bell if you want to be notified of future live streams, just like this one. Check out my game. It's linked in the description down below. Do all the YouTube things, blah blah blah, and I will see you all in the next Satisfactory live stream, whenever that may be.